Today is April 21st, 2026. It is 5:32 a.m. I was just looking at my subscribers, my subscription. How many people have been subscribing lately? New subscribers, welcome. Pretty much as you can see, I'm really not making that much money on my videos. But it's just to tell you that obviously we all need money. I would love to make money off of my videos. But however, the resistance, the way our world, our everyday life is being interrupted by a group of people who feel like putting unnecessary pain to others, that's the way it should be. So it is a form of resistance. And I've told you, my old subscribers might remember in past videos, I said this is like an investment for my children's future. It may not be much. Yes, reading videos, reading tweets and videos and it's very minimal. It doesn't seem that much, but at least my channel, it's not following the negative voices that's out there. Depend on your perspective. You might think what I'm saying is in a negative way. I don't know. But at least I'm not going out of my way to inflict pain onto people. That's all. So new subscribers, welcome. So let's go on X. I've set some tweets for you guys, and a few I have to wake up my kids. So the first tweet that I'm gonna share with you, it's a tweet that I missed. Actually, let me put this on the list as well. Okay, it's there, but it's further down. It might be, depending on how quick I'm able to record, it might be on another video. All right, this tweet, it was supposed to be on my last video. I skipped it by accident. So while I was editing my last video, thank God, I put timestamp on each of the tweets. And when I realized this is not there, and I put it back over here. All right, so let's go over it. Poh Ling Yeow, sorry if I pronounce the name wrong, okay, judge of MasterChef, was asked about working with Meghan and what's coming this season. She called Meghan delightful, easygoing, funny, and very professional, saying she fit judging naturally and loves food. She pushed back on trolling, calling her a lovely human. All right, so it's 1 minute and 42 seconds. Everyone that come across Meghan, they always say nice, positive things about Meghan. And I could see Poh Ling, hopefully I pronounced her name correctly, was excited on the preview where she's announcing Meghan coming to the show, how excited she was. You could see she is very delightful to have Meghan. But anyway, let's listen. Screenshot in between.
This is such a huge week, obviously the return of MasterChef, but Poh, you're usually the only royalty in any kitchen that you step into.
Oh, please.
But you had to share the crown with none other than Meghan Markle. What was she like?
There's so much public conjecture about this. She was so delightful, like nothing but praise for the time that we spent for her. Very easygoing, good sense of humour, like consummate professional. I mean, she's an actor, right? So she just slid right into that judging role like seamlessly.
Did she seem to like food? Yeah, did she seem like food?
She loves food. Yeah.
There is a lot, said about her. She gets a lot of trolling. Was she genuinely lovely, or can you see why people may not like her?
No. Genuinely, I think it's very interesting because when you drill down, no one can actually really say why. It's one of those situations. And at the end of the day, I really feel for her because she's still a human. There's an emotional human at the end of that when all this hatred that people are spitting out. No, she was honestly so lovely.
Was Harry there as well or not?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay.
MasterChef is back and we're so excited. Why do people need to watch this season?
I think we've just got the most beautiful bunch of newbies, and I love that this year. You need to watch the next couple of nights though, because we're doing the audition process again on screen.
Oh, I love
So we're
that.
picking from the top 40, the judges. So we're really excited by this breaker format, which is really going back to the original format.
OG.
And I feel like the food's super relatable. Like it's back to just normal cooking.
That's nice. See, this is what I be saying.
This-
With different branches of professionals, of topics and things like that, you'll find a squatty in every branches. This is what really helping push back the negativity. You could have cyclists, chef, people who cooks, what else? Architects, engineers, in every profession. The lawyers, I've come across, not personally, but on social media, squatties who are in the legal aspect of things. So this is what's good with the pushback, because it takes all of us. Each one of us, as a raindrop, together we could make a flood. So this is what's happening here. When, especially as I'm saying this, I'm thinking when Harry was leaving the UK and the Santa Bali speech, where he was saying something, how did he put it? I'll put the part that I'm thinking of.
When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force. And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful, because this is so much bigger than just us.
So he cannot take these people all by himself. He can only shed light to the problem that he's facing, because a lot of other people are going through it, but they don't recognize it. The media is they turn the media into a vile kind of thing, and it takes into people's psyche. They don't even know it. So Harry and Meghan using their platform to share the issues that they're going through. So it will take all of us.
And my hope is one day our collective support for each other can be more powerful.
To do the pushback. Let me read some of the comments. It's really beginning to irritate my soul when people keep asking what she is really like, then look convinced. I suppose this is what the smear campaign is meant to do. That Meghan is nice is not news. Judge by the fruit, lifting up those around her, going and giving where there is need. Most significant, not cursing those who want to see her fail. I mean, Meghan have been repeating the same thing over and over again since she was a child. When you look at past videos, I guess as I'm thinking of this here, I'm thinking God had the path for her. When I usually share the two roads where Harry had to go to a zigzag in order for him to be able to meet Meghan, the zigzag meaning the ups and downs, the issues that Harry was going through, personally, physically, publicly. He had to go through all of those up and down, because of the people that pretty much was raising him. So he had to go through all of those to come to term with his position and the good that he could do for society before he could meet Meghan. Meghan, on the other hand, did not have that spotlight like Harry does, but God was shedding light onto her since she was a child. You've seen different snapshot of her as she was growing up, from her private family gathering with pictures, videos, and schools, little things here and there that we come across. So God was shedding light on her as she was going through her road. Her road was straight. She knew what she wanted. Okay? And when I hear that clip from, I do not have it, I think it's in the docuseries on Netflix, where Miss Doria was sitting talking about how smart, I think it was from there, how smart Meghan is, and since she was a child and things like that. So the path for Meghan was straight. And God was shedding light, those private moments that now we come across, and to show us that she's been doing all of this. If all of these were never captured either on film or pictures, whatnot, people could have said many different things. But to back up Harry for being with Harry, we have to come back. We have to go back to some of the things that she's been doing in the past to say, look, You don't need to be a royal to be doing charitable work. She's been doing this. And, you know, prop to Miss Doria. She was doing her work, preparing her for a moment like this, not knowing, okay, we do not know the future. If she does, she better tell us so we could start shaping ourselves. But is the thing that she saw, Miss Doria, that is, that Meghan needed to prepare her for society, to contribute to society. And then the moment Harry met Meghan, he was like, I'm all in. But it took a lot of work. I hope you understand me. I went on with that. Let me read what's there. Okay, so this is an ad. The 10 network is owned by CBS in the US, so could they air this episode over there? I don't know. It seems like this is so many things. How can I take this? Well, Australia has its own rule of law, but what's happening in the US, it seems like, again, some people may not believe me, some stuff that's going on with the Trump admin trying to corner people. It's hard to explain. I don't know. The only way I could say it is that Australia have its own law. Certain law that probably happening in the US may not apply in the UK, obviously, and Australia and many other places. All right, easy to be lovely for a few hours. The real drifters are just disgusting. What? Oh, please. I don't know what this meant, but the real drifters are the royal family who's taking money and pretty much have nothing really good to show off. Okay, I love how they ask if she likes food. Do they not do research as she had the tick before marrying? That's the thing again, going back to her past. Tick before marriage and Netflix series as well. But that judge was absolutely brilliant. Yeah. You could see she's a fan of Meghan. How sad that you think that this is in any way a benchmark. It's a fake environment, not real world. Well, the thing is that in her real life, the Tig, like this comment I've said here, the Tig, this was Meghan's babies. There's absolutely no way some of the things that she was doing before and now that she has to enjoy it. The Tig is something she create herself. Okay? So that means there had to be an interest there. You can't take anything away from her about this. That was her baby. All right, okay. I think I read all of this. Let's move on. So this was supposed to be on my last video, but for some reason I skipped it. All right, let's go to the next tweet. All right, so there's this here. So haters are still mad. Let me remind them how all that crying started. That live coverage of Rival and the tarmac exit broke them. And it's been downhill ever since. That's the laugh here. 2026 will be memorable. It's 50 seconds. It seems like I saw it. I watched it. There was no talk or no voice. It's, I guess they were escorting Harry and Meghan. Okay, maybe this is when they came. The day that they came, this is where they were escorting them. Okay. They already knew that they were coming. They invited them and all of that. So they knew they didn't have to go through all the protocols like you and I will if we go to airport. All right. So they came to get them. All right. So that they are here. So that's what I take from it. 50 seconds is too long showing the same thing. All right. There's no talking. With the voice background of the whoever was recording it. Alright, so that's it. I don't want to waste time here. There's the laugh here. All this more stalking and spying on the irrelevant ones. Arrival. Wow. Alright, LOL. I am laughing with that ridiculous petition though. The Rangers and Royalists are mad as a box of frogs. The way Harry and Meghan have become stronger after this trip, the media, the Rangers, and royal correspondents threw everything under the sun at them, and it then fazed them. They still receive the reception they got. Yeah, and then, let's not forget as well, I think it would have been more people if they had publicized where they were gonna be on certain days. Okay? The reason I'm saying this is because of the hospital. Either the CEO who was there, it was being interviewed and said they didn't even publicize it. Can you imagine if they did? Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. All right, so there's that. All right, no wonder they're still crying. Harry and Meghan were received like king and queen. Yep, there's the laugh here, the pouting. There's the laugh here. The pouting and lashing out continues. Haters mad. There's the laugh here. All right, so that's it. These are extra. Oh, well, when was that? Let me pause this. Australia was happy to see the Sussexes, so the British press and royal voter can F off. That's the meaning of this report from the Australian press. LOL. Okay, so let me add this to the list. I didn't have that. All right, I just added. There's a music in the background, so I'm going to start it where the music sort of lowered. All right, Australia was happy to see the Sussexes, so the British press and royal voter can F off. That's the meaning of this report from the Australian press. LOL. All right, I'm picking up where the music just sort of stopped. 3 seconds in.
From the get-go, it was clear Australia was happy to see the Sussexes. From their first sighting at a packed-out Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne, to Harry's solo trip to Canberra in honour of our veterans at the Australian War Memorial. Royal or not, it's been one epic 4-day tour, one that Australia will remember for years to come.
That's the beginning, 3 seconds in. Just in case I have to change the music and lower the volume. Alright. Look at this. There's the hospital here. Look at all these people at the hospital. And they didn't even publicize it. Alright, this one I'm gonna black. You could pause and read it. Talking negativity. Okay, I'm also suing Rachel and Henry for taking a photo of my child without my permission. Who took it? It's not them. They there. Okay, who was that child? Okay, let's say this person here. Did they tell the people to come with their cameras? Okay, she went and meet them. Who's behind that child? They could have said, don't bring the child. I don't know. There's legal issues. Deal legally. Because I don't see Harry and Meghan with the camera. The one that they took the selfie in is the person who hand Harry the picture. Hand the camera to. So that's going to be hard to sue. Because whatever we are seeing here, Harry and Meghan were not recording themselves. It's clips that's already out there. So make it, I don't know. Let me move on. That's going to be very hard to prove that it was them because they aren't in the picture. They're not the one who's holding the camera. All right, next tweet. With the exception of those where the people who were in the crowd hand Harry the camera, he took the selfie, and the person was behind it. If that person is in there, could have easily removed itself or himself. All right, next tweet. Let me tell you about the reality on the ground here in Australia. Harry and Meghan's visit has been a huge success. Even people who don't usually pay attention to royal news set up and pay attention. So many people were genuinely inspired and impressed at how warm, kind and funny, authentic and relatable they are. It was also clear they're very connected and totally in love. And who doesn't love a real-life love story? Harry and Meghan's visit hit all the right notes. By simply being themselves, they reminded us why we loved them in 2018 and why we still love them today. The British media running around causing chaos also reminded us why we're not fans of the Brits. And let's make it very clear, maybe the British media and probably the British royal family, the leftovers. Okay? So the people of Britain, yes, there will be racists, there will be those royalists, so we cannot put all of them under the same umbrella. Before, when I first started doing videos, I used to do that, put them under the same umbrella. I didn't understand as much as I do now, and there's still more to learn, how the media works, because the chaos, the noise that were being put out there, they make it sound as if it's the entire UK British people who were saying all of that. But when you pin it down to micro management, You could see there's different branch. It's just that their voices are not in the same alignment with the media. Okay? The ones who are saying the positive thing, supporting Harry and Meghan, they drain their voices down. But the one who's creating the chaos, including bots they pay to make the noise, they elevate that. Okay? So for this, due to my own understanding now, I have to say, not all Brits. Okay? Because if you go back to some of my videos on PYTE, there are videos during the 2020 Europe soccer thing, football match, where those black players missed the goal, you know, the free, how do they call it? Free goal, free kick or something like that. And the fans were upset and the racists came out of these people. There were things that I was seeing. I didn't share it. People naked, dancing on the street, upset and things like that. And there was a mural of this one of the players that was in an area in a neighborhood. They destroyed. And then I came across a group of people in the neighborhood. Some of them who were not even in the neighborhood came in solidarity and support of, what the hell is his name? That player. I'll show you the thumbnails of that video. All right, many of them came to support of him, and they highlight. Okay, I didn't even know. I don't follow soccer or football, should I say? Especially not even in the U.S. Can you imagine internationally? That player, I came to learn that he uses money to feed kids in public school or whatever the school in the UK, books for kids and all of that. So you will not hear all of this. So the people in the UK came in support of him, saying it's just a game. You missed the free kick or whatever you call it, the term for that, I don't know. The free kick, it's not the end of the world. Yes, there's those people who were upset, either they were betting on the game or whatever, but some of the Brits came out and said, this is not the end of the day. We support you. We love you, especially the things that you have done for the community and all of that. And I think they had fixed the mural. People who live in the UK, please let me know. Put the timestamp of where I'm mentioning this. Let me know if what I'm saying is correct. Because, hey, I'm in the United States. I was following things on Twitter. Okay, this is what happened when you follow the right people. You get to see some of the good information. But if you're listening to the noise, yes, they will put the entire British population under one umbrella as if those people are the voice of all Brits. Yes, there are the negative. The same thing could be said in every country. All right? In the United States, the way the U.S. is being seen in a negative way, but there are people inside, including white people, all right, who pushing back against the Trump administration. You're not going to see that because that's not what the media wants you to see. Because those racists in every countries, they control the media, the things that happening. So they're trying to destroy the fabric, the foundation of the United States. And you're seeing the negative part. Okay? Sorry I went on the long rant, but I have to say this because I learned that. And I'm just sharing what I've learned. And people who live in the UK, hey, back me up. All right? But let's start here. The British media running around causing chaos also remind us why we're not fans of the British media. Let's put that, okay? And why we call them wanging palms. What is it? Wanging palms. The current aggressive attempt to reframe their visit won't work. At least not here in Australia. And one more thing I have to say about the British and individual Brits. There was a time, I cannot really say when was that. Could have been around the time where Meghan did the One Young World, because she went in the UK and then fly to Germany. Could have been around that time. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's around that time because Meghan went to the UK. There was an event Meghan was at, could have been the One Young World, I don't remember. And there was this white lady who stood outside of the venue, running her mouth in a negative way. All right, painting Meghan in a negative way. One squaddy in the UK, a young lady went and confronted that lady and put her in her place. All right, so there's that two aspect of things. All right, the racists are still there, and then some Brits who's pushing back and say don't speak on my behalf or something like that. All right, so again, correct me if I'm wrong. All right, so let's continue. Australians are genuinely anti-establishment with a strong sense of equality and giving everyone a fair go. We don't take ourselves too seriously and detest being told what to do and what to think. We are also not fans of British people. British people who come to our country thinking they can tell us what to do and what to think. It's why the attempt by the palace and the British tabloid to make us hate Harry and Meghan has failed spectacularly. This will always be Princess Diana and Harry Meghan country. They will always be the only royal to receive rockstar welcomes. All right, so she's over there. She's Australian, so she knows more than I do. But just this aspect I have to correct a little bit. You will find these in every country. All right, so there's Princess Diana, there's Harry and Meghan. Like I've said in the past, with William, all he had to do is stand for the people. No matter what, stand for the people. They will have your back. It's 6 o'clock. I need to wake up my kids. Let me pause and I'll pick up on some of the comments. All right, you might hear some noise in the background. So let me read some of the comments. All right, thank you, dear Zandy. There's a heart here for all the wonderful updates. Thank you, Australia. Also, thank you, Lord Jesus Christ of Nazareth, that there are lovely humans out there who can think for themselves and not be misled by the 10-year hate campaign being spearheaded by section of the press and media. Glory to God, hallelujah. Truth, justice, integrity, fairness, and love, not hatred, will always have the last say. And Yeshua's mighty name, amen. Amen. Love this. Sending love to Australians all the way from Texas and the US. Thanks so much for sharing this. Okay, if the thing that I was saying where we cannot say all Brits are the same, if let's say you from another country, you would have thought all Texans are like MAGAs because Texas always vote MAGAs, but there are Texans who have sensible, well-minded people who probably their voices are drained out because the MAGAs take space to overpower their voices. Something like that. All right, 13 different outfits by Meghan giving local inspiration, attention, and traffic to their website. Great indeed. Some local designers I didn't even know about but will now be buying from. All right, there's this. Okay, whatever's on the screen. I was thinking about this, the fact that they are no longer representing the royal family and are making their own living makes them more popular and us, not less. We don't like being told what to do by the Poms, and the royal represent a tradition we would prefer to leave behind. Exactly. Thanks so much for sharing your experience. It's refreshing to hear a first-hand perspective from Australia instead of just headlines. Really appreciate you taking the time to write this. There's the heart here. There's the her response. Pleasure. She's the one who said, I think she went on the retreat, and then she said she's not gonna comment until we assume after the retreat, which is now Tuesday. All right, there's another one. And her again, the squatty. Well, even the Toxic Women's magazine New Idea read the room and knew this was not the week for churning out their usual nonsense. All right, so let's see. Was it Australian Tour Special Edition, New Idea, Harry and Meghan, welcome back. So that's a hater magazine, but they decided to go with the voice of the people. Just the magazine cashing in. Yeah, there was money to be made. Is this the magazine that said Meghan and Harry wanted to visit the earrings and got rejected? They definitely are haters. Let me see. I generally don't read their BS, so not sure if it was them. Okay. Wonder never ceased to exist, right? No need to hide it this week. Then Zandy, true. All right, OMG, we need to frame this cover. We should do. Wow, no words. A miracle. Holy moly, I've been I've been taking pics of magazines covers weekly for years to keep a record of the abuse, and this is the first positive one I've seen probably since their wedding. I've lost count of how many times I've sent in complaints to various women's magazine here. Yeah. Okay, OMG, thank you. How are you showing that the hate isn't landing as the UK wanted an Aussie land, and that is why they are raging furious back here. Alright, I hope no one buys the magazine regardless. Once a snake magazine, always a snake. Which means I won't have to hide the trashy magazine at my local supermarket this week. The same magazine that got Prince Harry taken out of Afghanistan because they reveal his location. Fake. Next week, there will be the usual shady selves. Okay, I don't know. Good to know. These are the squaddies who keep tab on the things. Okay, I'm already 30 minutes. I'm gonna record. Let me see, Aussie dog. Okay, anything about Aussie I'll mention. Oh my God, is that the same thing? Let me see. Okay, I put this twice, so let's move on. Okay, so there's another one here. Interesting fact about the gala night. Hey everyone, I've seen some photos floating around of the grand ballroom during the VIP group photos with Meghan, and a few rumors going around that only about 50 ladies were there and that the retreat was a flop. Not quite. In reality, we had 9 VIP groups photos taken with a total of 74 lovely ladies and gents present. 2 ladies missed the photos due to some unexpected hiccups, but they joined us right after. I did hear stories of other ladies who were VIPs that couldn't make it due to illness or other reasons. What a lot of people don't realize is that the room was actually full right out to the entrance with all the other guests who weren't in the VIP groups. While we were busy with our photos, our friends outside were happily tucking into canopies and delicious Monet champagne. The hotel's fact sheet says the grand ballroom could seat 260 people with the table arrangement we saw when we arrived, so it was a lovely full house. I don't know where I was talking about this room occupancy. It could have been when I was talking about the Grenfell fire. There was a video that I did where I was explaining my understanding of construction and things like that, and I think I said something about room occupancy. So you have to take consideration of the tables, space to move around, and the people sitting and all that. So I don't know, that came to mind where she said the grand ballroom could sit 260 people. All right, just a little note, once we entered the foyer, no photos or recordings were allowed. I guess this is where the squaddie said that due to certain reason that she will not be sharing what went on to the retreat. And I said maybe they told them, go back to the video, probably on PYTE, when I came across Zendi's tweet where she said she's not gonna share what's going on in there. So there's this confirming my suspicion. Okay, just a little note, once we entered the foyer, no photos or recordings were allowed. That's why you won't see any shots of the guests in the other hall. Okay, so she took a picture of this and that. Okay, so this is the room where they were taking pictures, and there's that. Alright, so the grand ballroom. So she's showing the hallway going in there. Alright, so there's no comment. She blacked it. There's 26 retweets, 257 likes, and I'm one of them, and 24 bookmarks. Next tweet. Okay, so let's see here. So I did some switch around. Let's start a campaign, Free Aussie. This is the dog. This is from a video. I do not have it. It's in one of my old videos where they were interviewing this lady, and that lady was saying she's not a fan of Harry and Meghan and all of that, but it's the dog who dragged her to go see Harry and Meghan. So the squad take it to another level. It's a Free Aussie. There's the dog that the lady was saying who dragged her. There's me laughing here. Poor thing. He or she knew our faves was in town, and she dragged the lady to see him. All right, so there's all these emojis. That's an ad. Let's move on to the... I hope Aussie Sussex converted her honor. LOL. The woman was obviously drawn to Harry and Meghan, and she saw they warm and engaging, not the monster toxic British media wants everyone to believe. Alright, freedom. There's all of that. Let's go to the next tweet. So now that video that I had before, I'm gonna put, and then I have one more, and that's about JTB, who's talking about the Obama Netflix thing. I think I put a screenshot of an article about the Obama, and I read a comment where someone says stop sharing the negativity. I don't know, it's just for information purposes. You make what you wish with it. This is the next tweet. Another TV panelist speaking that truth on how the palace and the media had to work together to turn the public against Harry and Meghan so that William and Kate look better. The hate has always been orchestrated from day one. The palace didn't put a stop to it because it was the head engineer of the hate machine. There it is. All right, let's listen.
I think that Harry and Meghan were much maligned. The press and the palace combined together to set the public up against them, to make William and Kate look better, and because there was too much glory going on to them. Do you remember the actual joy after that wedding, where everybody loved them, and that couldn't be allowed to continue because the royal line of succession must continue. The big machine, the big carriage has to go on. I can't.
This is the thing I don't understand with these people. You would have thought, okay, they didn't like what Harry and Meghan are doing. Why can't they change themselves? Not Harry and Meghan, the people who want to sabotage Harry and Meghan. Why can't they try to be like, at least like Harry and Meghan, be for the people, so at least you will get a little dust of likes from the people. But the thing is that even though they were getting the positive headlines and all of that, but they continue doing their barbaric behavior. I don't understand these people. They don't want to change. They want people to like them for their barbaric behavior while they're inflicting unnecessary pain onto people. They want people to love them for that. All right, let's continue.
Imagine that Harry and Meghan would give up their life in California. Why should they? They have a very, very good life. But they can do an enormous amount of good. Because, look at Harry's Invictus Games. Mm-hmm. Look at and actually, it's all.
You could look at Centabali as well. Centabali was doing very well, but because it's doing too good, they want to sabotage it. And look what Centabali turned into. Oh, I wonder how that lawsuit is going. And I think it's also a campaign with, that's something that I saw. I'm not sure if I shared that particular article with you guys, where the Trump administration is using, medicine for AIDS with some African countries as a leverage so they could get their natural resources. So destroying Centabali, who was helping kids with AIDS, might be a concerted effort with the palace along with the U.S. Like I said, whatever's happening in the U.S., the palace, the UK is behind it as well. If you could go back maybe 2 or 3, I would say 2 years ago, where the thing in South America started, Venezuela thing started, okay, it was a ploy. The UK sent warship to down Venezuela with their stupid reason. It's a whole bunch of things. Anyway, they all are connected, okay? Let me move it back slightly.
Victus Games. Look at and actually, it's always blame the woman, isn't it? So Meghan gets, Meghan has copped it from the start. And I think she has a genuine connection with women and with people. And she's a very smart woman. Mm-hmm. And, you were talking about how they spilled all the royal secrets. That there are plenty of royal secrets to come out, believe me, which they didn't spill.
Thank you. Okay, they told their truth. The Oprah interview is, from my perspective, the Oprah interview pretty much clear off things from the moment Harry and Meghan met till I guess they left. And, to clear off all those headlines, the nonsense that were said about them. And then, I don't know, the media wants to shape people's mind. Couple times, I've done many reviews. I share things, and I keep on saying it's William who kicked Harry out. But the media seems to want people to forget about that part, as if it's Harry and Meghan who decided to leave. And then in many other places, from the Oprah interview, from Harry's book, Spare, from court document, Harry literally told them they push him out. And then to put the cherry on top, Charles decided to, based on Harry's thing that was said in court. If you're in the UK, I don't know how you could get a transcript from a court case or something like that, but in the US, you could go to any court to get a copy of any lawsuit or anything that was said in court. Okay, so if you're in the UK, you could go look it up and see what Harry was said or what was said in court, at least to the public, because I think there was a part where they took the thing privately because it was an ongoing thing due to security reason. Certain things were not said, but at least the part that Harry said in the interview, where he said, he was shocked to see his father decided to call different countries and said not to provide him with security. He said it because it wasn't caught.
Arguments. At this point, I'm feeling very let down. It's the minority of people, especially those that read the tabloids and the press themselves. The press themselves have incited so much hatred towards myself, my wife, and even our children, that's hard to forgive. I actually couldn't believe it. I thought with all the disagreements and all of the chaos that's happening, the one thing that I could rely on is my family keeping me safe. And not only did they decide to remove my security in the UK, but they also signaled to every single government around the world not to protect us.
And he could back it up. Harry never go out and make interviews and say lame stuff. Many times, let's say during the Canada Invictus, that's the most recent I could think of. There are probably many others leading up to the Canada Invictus, where William Reeves, the journalist, was interviewing him and asked him things about his father's diagnosis. And Harry said, it's between me and my dad.
Duke and Duchess's every move has made headlines. And just last week, an unexpected diagnosis for Harry's father, King Charles.
How did you get the news that the king was ill?
I spoke to him.
And what did you do next?
I jumped on a plane and went to go and see him as soon as I could.
How was that visit for you emotionally?
Look, I love my family. The fact that I was able to get on a plane and go and see him and spend any time with him, I'm grateful for that.
What's sort of your outlook on his health?
That stays between me and him.
What's sort of your outlook on his health?
That stays between me and him.
He could have gone on and talk about his father, but he said, no, it's between me and my dad.
On his health.
That stays between me and him.
That would be private. All right? So that's that. All right? 1,001. Oops. 1,001%. That lady is correct. And what was it? There was another video of her and Jeremy Vine, who was putting the truth out there.
Is that the case?
No, absolutely not. No, I mean, and if we're talking about why this whole, Harry Meghan thing started, it started because several years ago, if you cast your mind back, the Queen was and always will be the most popular royal, but second to that was Harry. It wasn't William and Kate. It was not William and Kate. And when Harry and Meghan became such a popular couple, it put everybody's noses out of joint. The establishment wanted to retain the monarchy as it was, to boost William and Kate, and the media, the Daily Mail and the Telegraph in particular, fed those lines.
Well, I agree with everything until you said the last bit. I think that somebody in the palace decided to take them down a peg or two, and it went too far.
Absolutely.
But it's all history now, isn't it?
But it's not history, because, for instance, if you take the media on, as Dawn will know, you
never win.
If you never win, but the media will always be at war with you, and the Daily Mail does everything.
1001% that lady is correct. The press and the palace don't have to do anything to turn the public against Harry and Meghan when they are doing such a fine job of it themselves. The thing is, if you look at Kate, there is absolutely nothing about her. The late Queen Elizabeth II had many passions, most notably horses. Can anyone name 3 things Kate is passionate about and known for by the public outside of being a royal? Like the baby brain thing. And I've talked so many videos about that. It's the palace who's trying to make her look smart and things like that. And I say, of all things, you're talking about baby brain. Psychology is not easy, especially with kids who cannot even, some of them don't even talk. They don't even have enough experience to express their feelings. They took that topic for her to deal with. And I said, all she had to do, because it was said in some papers that when she was in college, she did a drinking, alcoholic kind of club or something like that. And I said, she could use it and turn it into a positive. Because in the UK, they said during football match, there's certain percentage of abuse that goes on in the household and all of that. The numbers might change, but at that time when I was doing the video about the football thing, Euro 2020, I searched and there was some stuff that came out. Okay, she could use that, turn it into a positive. Don't drink and drive, and own it. Okay, you were young. People could understand the same way that I've sort of brushed some of the things Harry have done in the past. He was young. He didn't have a family, a family of his own where he has kids and wife. He was doing his thing. Okay, things like that can be brushed off, can be excused, but he has turned himself into a better human being. She could have done the same thing. Use the alcohol thing, because if she's passionate about it, I'm sure doing the research will be much beneficial. She will be more inclined to do the research herself and then connect with specialists, professionals who deal with, people who drink and drive and abuse and all of that. Could tackle many of this stuff. But the palace want to create something because Meghan is naturally not only smart, but the thing she's covering is things she's passionate about. And Harry have told them, use something you're passionate about and go with it. And this is something I don't even follow the royal family in the UK, especially Kate. But from that aspect, because it was reported on a paper, she created that drinking club. Use that now and use it with your whole chest. Yes, when you were in college, you did that. Okay, but now you're a mother, you could turn it around, turn it into a positive. You could drink socially if you're gonna have a driver driving you around. It's fine, drinking is fine, but in a controlled manner. Don't drink and drive, and speak to a psychologist about the abuse aspect of things. If you know you drink certain amount, once you reach your limit, have a significant other, doesn't have to be a wife or a husband, could be a friend, and said, okay, after 2 drinks, don't drink no more. Okay, you know how you get when you drink and things like that. All right, have someone to help you control yourself. Okay, if let's say after 2 drinks, okay, you on your first one, drink it slowly to make it last. If the party you're gonna go is gonna be certain amount of hours, you wanna stay until the end, so drink slowly. And then once you get to your second drink it slowly as well. If you're about to take the 3rd one, your friend will be there and say, no, that's enough. Now you could walk with water instead of alcohol. I'm just giving an example. All right, this topic alone, she could have covered it. She doesn't have to go out of her league, things that she doesn't care, and so much intellect that needs to go into certain topic. They put her into it. She's not interested. There's one where I think former First Lady Biden went to the UK. They were talking about some studies and things like that. You know, the moment they give Kate the microphone, they put a stop to it, because even the First Lady was like, oh, look, I bring all of this to talk about, and then you stop. She didn't say it like that, but whatever.
It's also had a positive effect in that I think teachers are now working more closely. Can keep sharing data, knowledge, and best practice for many years to come. But thank you for your interest today.
I'm sure we will. Thank you. Thank you for your interest.
But look, thank you so much. And I have to say, on a personal level, about 4 years ago, we sat down at my school and we had a conversation about thinking about our pupils as the parents of tomorrow. And that was really transformative for us. What you just said really resonates. A huge thank you for your time. Thank you so much to colleagues. We hope that one day we might meet you in person. It feels like a long way off. And thank you so much, Dr. Biden, for joining us.
Thank you.
We look forward to this being the start of the conversation, and we're going to now move to some group photographs, I think.
Anyway, let me read some of these. All right, the thing is, if you look at Kate, there is absolutely nothing about her. Okay, I read that already. The truth is and was that grifters, Meg, and absolutely no interest in staying in the world. They kick her out, okay? She told her truth. You could pause and read this one. I blacked this so many times. It has a, I don't remember the name, but that thing, the picture looked familiar. Meghan told us... Okay, not only did she tell us way before she met Harry, okay, she was doing all those things already, so that could be verified. 100%. She's been saying this for quite some time, and she always defends Harry and Meghan. She is one of the few on British television. Yeah. They expected by doing this, Harry and Meghan will end up being treated like Edward and Mrs. Simpson, ostracized. What they did not take into account was social media, and there is the issue lies. That's right. I've said this before, because the royal family is still using the Stone Age campaign. They think things only lie on the papers and television, which they have control of. And if people decided to, that's back then, decided to make a complaint, they will have to write a letter, mail it, and all of that. But now with social media, the moment they open their mouth, the whole world is watching it. And then you have people doing the pushback. Yeah, that's it. This person gets it. I don't know why they felt threatened by the two people who made them look good. I don't know either. Exactly. Now people are openly saying what they knew to be true from day one. That lady, she has been saying it. Even in the old Jeremy Vine video, she's been saying it. 10 years of hate for no other reason than jealousy, envy, insecurity with evil heart. She's brilliant, but I despise Storm. Did you hear her snort of derision? She's always biased against Harry and Meghan. I've had her black for years. That lady, well, I don't live in the UK, but at least the two, this one and past video of her and Jeremy Vine, she always said almost the same thing, doing the pushback. I don't know anything. I need to record this by itself. Let me retweet it. This is my last one, and then maybe later on today, I don't plan on going anywhere. I should be home. I might record more. All right, so this is the last one. It's covering President Obama and Netflix. Okay, Obama-Netflix deal ends, and it's called strategy. Meghan and Harry shift their deal, and it's called failure. Same move, different narrative. People see the bias. All right, let's listen. Almost 3 minutes.
Congratulations are in order. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama are ending their deal with Netflix and moving toward a more independent model. Wait, didn't Harry and Meghan do that? Higher Ground Productions delivered real work, awards, cultural impact, a strong run from start to finish. And now they're shifting into their next phase. Sounds like something Harry and Meghan did as well. Funny how the same people who spent months calling Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and Prince Harry failures suddenly have nothing to say. Crickets. When Harry and Meghan made this exact same move, because Netflix made a shift company-wide, these people were loud, wrong, and shameless about it, throwing around words like flop, like they had insider access, like they understood the contracts, like they weren't just talking out of ignorance. Now the Obamas do it? Where's that same energy? The fake experts are real quiet. Same situation, same business move. But they can't keep the story straight because the story was never about the deal. It was about who they hate bait, click farm.
The case of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle forcefully makes the point. The data analyst's bot Sentinel looked at 114,000 Twitter posts about the couple since January 2020 and found two things. Firstly, that 55 accounts had been set up solely to post negative material about them, and 28 more accounts had been set up to amplify those messages. And secondly, that the Twitter algorithm, which suggests people you might want to follow, urged someone who had viewed one hate account or message to follow several others. These 83 accounts were responsible for 70% of the negative content targeted on the couple. One account posted 111,031 messages about them. Bot Sentinel reckons there are 264 single-purpose hate accounts solely targeting Harry and Meghan. To the innocent bystander, it looks like the whole world hates Harry and Meghan.
And now that it's the Obamas, suddenly they had an epiphany on how Netflix shifted their contract model. And it makes every past take about Meghan and Harry look exactly like it was. Baseless lies and flat out wrong. And to those...
Like I was saying about the UK, at first I used to think it's the entire UK that was against Harry and Meghan. But once I learned, it's just a few. And then to back it up, I've seen individual squaddies in the UK are doing the pushback. Alright? Every one of us is a raindrop. Together we could create a flood. Let's continue.
Those who believed at the supposed Meghan and Harry Netflix downfall. You were either too stupid or too willing to believe the lies. Maybe both. And that's the read. If you like your tea hot, share it, save your seat, and follow for more.
Alright, he has a YouTube channel, so check him out. I was saying this same thing an hour ago. Perfectly stated and on point as always. What's the bias? No lies detected. Straight fact. Okay, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. I plan on record more, but not right now. The next video I'm gonna start with, I see the squad were talking about William and Kate, some stuff. So this is old, but they were doing conversation about it. Alright, look at him. No manners at all. Anyway, that's that. We'll get back to it, okay? So that's it. Thanks for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.